Is there anybody out there? Not if you can see me. Is there anybody home? TikTok, look at my friends. Go let everybody know I'm live. Keep going. We're letting more viewers know you're live. Okay. Did I get canceled overnight and not realize it? Did TikTok cancel me again and now, like, I'm doomed for? Is that what happened? Is that why nobody's here? Did I get canceled again last night? What the heck? You guys, stop canceling me. I don't like this. Why can't we just be friends? Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? TikTok, are you glitching? Do I need to just reset? I think that's what it is. I think it's a big old glitch. I think it's a big old glitch. Y'all want to be my friend. Y'all want to know who's making? Who's making this? I don't know who's making this. I don't know who's making this neither. Let's go find out who's making this. But then when I go live, y'all don't come in to find out who I am. Now make that make sense. TikTok. Good morning. Is anybody there? Is anybody there? I've been live for like 10 minutes and that's it. I'm done. I'm doing my big one and I'm leaving the app. I can't. I'm done. Standing here talking to myself, looking like a fucking imbecile. Feeling like an imbecile. It's lagging. Do I need to reset? Because I am playing. I think I'm going to reset really fast. It's better now. Girl, I ain't playing. When I say I was live for 10 minutes, I've been live for 10 minutes by myself. Just talking. Hanging out. All by my lonesome self. Trying to get my coffee together. I can't focus because nobody's here to help me. So what I missed last night? Anything good? Did I miss anything good last night, TikTok? I do have to admit, I do have to admit something, right? The other night, I was playing. I wasn't very nice, Monster. I wasn't very nice to Monster. I thought it was quite funny, though. And I think she was a little mad. But she was looking for her, so I guess it doesn't matter. Do you guys all know what I'm talking about or no? Do I need to go into full detail? Hi, Monster. I see you. Okay, I'll explain. So the other day, Monster was live. Hi! And she was looking for one of my lives, right? She was looking for a live where she came over and, me and Violet attacked her. She wanted to play it for her people. So people were in the comments telling her that it was on my YouTube page. So I got notification that Monster was looking for that video. She was going to show her people how she was treated. in my life and how it wasn't very nice, Megan. Good morning. So I decided to, she was watching it, because I privated one. She must have came in, like, my live, like, more than once, because I swear there was a live. She was in there. And she was talking. So I thought that was a live, so I privated it. But it was the wrong one, right? So she started watching it, and I was like, oh, shit, I did the wrong one. So I hurried up and got into YouTube and privated the video so she couldn't watch it. That wasn't very nice of Megan, now was it? I'm sorry, monster. I took your resources away. But she ended up finding it somewhere else, and they were able to watch it. They just had to look a little bit harder, that's all. Which was the whole point to it. But I think that's a fun little troll story. Good morning. Good morning. I think that's a fun little troll story. Yeah. Just like the fun little troll story when I wished Florida Man a happy birthday and I hope somebody smashes a cake into his face, right? Just like that. That's a fun little troll story, right? Just like when I was trolling Trippy. If you guys don't know who Trippy is, then that's a whole another story, right? And when I went in there and I said, hi. And of course it was like, oh no, not the racist, right? So she ended up blocking me, right? And so I went in there on my other accounts, and I was like, girl, did you know you blocked me? Like, so then, of course, I got blocked again. So then, of course, I went in on my third account, and I was like, why can't we be friends? Why are you blocking me? Like, we want to be friends. You want to be friends with me, and you just can't admit it yet. So then, of course, I got blocked for the third time. And so I just had one more account. So I decided to go in there on my fourth account and tell her, girl, this is my last account. If you block me, and I got blocked. Yeah. Trolling. Fun trolling, right? Fun trolling. Not lies. Not lies. Damaging lies, right? Not lies that are damaging. Like, that's false information, right? False information. So, which brings me to my next question, Florida Man. You're in my messages, right? You have been in my messages for days upon days. You are in my messages. I have blocked every single one of you guys. I have moved on. You're in my messages. Ain't nobody coming for you. Ain't nobody coming for you. No, I'm not coming for you. I don't care to come for you, right? Because I know what a liar you are, right? And you know, I don't need to defend myself, right? I don't need to prove to not a fuck one of you guys that what happened with my husband, what he's saying, what happened with my husband is false, right? I know my truth. My closest family, friends, know the truth, right? And that's all that matters to me. But, just to make somebody look like a fucking asshole, I think I'm gonna show it, right? Florida Man, I forgot to ask my question. Did you ever receive that FOIA that you said you were going to get with that incident when the cops and the ambulance came over to my house to help my husband? Did you, Florida Man? Now, if this is what you call me coming for you, right? Because I didn't want to listen to the lies that you were over there spewing about OG, right? Instantly, I said, absolutely not. I'm not going to listen to this. I'm not going to listen to it. You got mad. You got your feelings hurt because I wouldn't go over there and listen to it. You were in my inbox. Megan, come on, look at, I got this. She said this. Here's the proof. Here's this. I don't care, Florida man. I don't care, right? And then you twisted and turned and said something about my husband that was absolutely false, right? That actually got CPS called again, right? So thank you for that. So I want to know if you consider this coming for you, right? I want to know if you ever received that FOIA. I'll wait. Asking for me and all of TikTok, because weren't you the one over there at you and Bouger talking about receiving a FOIA for that information, because you're claiming that I'm claiming I'm lying about the situation, that you were going to get the FOIA and you were going to prove that it happened first and foremost. Honey, did you ever receive that FOIA? Because I've been waiting to see it. It's been about a month, right? And usually when you request a FOIA, it does take a couple weeks. So anytime now, you should be receiving an email. Where's your cult leader at? Go get him. I know you cult followers are fucking in here. Go get your cult leader. Go wake him up. Go tell him good morning. Megan has a question. He gets everything off of the internet. It's all off the internet. Right. And let's not forget, right, everybody, that he came up into my box and explained to us how this is going to be good to tell if a document is false or not. Remember that 2 days ago? Because I do. I do. I do believe I have that recorded too. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyways, good morning, TikTok! Go get your coffee, go get your Diet Coke, go get your iced tea. Even if it's a gin and tonic that gets you up and going, make that bitch a double, y'all. No judgment over here at all whatsoever. Hi, the good Tiffany. Good morning, honey. How did you guys sleep last night? My famous hoodie that triggers, what's her name? Shannon, honey, does this hoodie trigger you? Because I think it does. Anyways. Not great, you're at the hospital. Oh no. You know what? Uh-oh. Well, I hope you get better soon. Good morning. Good fucking morning. What in the hell, girl? Why entertain that bullshit? I don't know. Look it. It's got to be for entertainment purposes only, right? Because we're all bored fucking housewives. We have nothing else better to do besides feed into the fucking bullshit, right? I'm going to use that. Because wait till you guys see what I do next. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. I did that shit. No? How did I sleep last night? I slept pretty fucking good. I did. I got put down another fucking rabbit hole. Which I could be a silent watcher on this one. Those rabbit holes are dangerous, y'all. Those rabbit holes are dangerous. Hi, honeys. Good morning. Oh, the coffee is coffeeing. Definitely is fucking hitting the spot. Hey, guess what? You know, I can't even tell you guys. Cheers, girl. Cheers. Like, it's a fun, cute little story, right, with me and my family. But since, you know, you guys like to attack my family, I can't even share this one with you. Good mornings. Good morning. Maybe we should go outside. Let's peek out the windows. Nothing's going on. Good morning, honeys. Yep. Let's go check the weather. Yeah, I'm staying in today. Oh, maybe we should. What do you guys want to do? I don't know. He was all in my fucking inbox last night. Demanded me to watch his live because he had a special guest. It's windy out there. Yeah. I don't know if that was a fear tactic or what was going on there. I don't know. I haven't figured that one out. You know, that's That's what I was thinking. So be special. Be special out there, everybody. Puppy, you're awake. I don't think he's feeling too good this morning. You know, my dog sleeps with me. He does. He sleeps in my bed with me. And when I woke up this morning, when I had to send the family out, usually he wakes up and he's all like, play with me, pet me, love me, whatever. He wasn't acting like that, so I was a little worried. It's like, oh my God, my dog's not responding. So I was like, well, maybe I should get in his face the way he gets in my face and gives me kisses. So I did that to him, and he still didn't respond. I was worried about him. And then I said, where's your baby? Let's get your baby. And he just looked at me like, lady, really? And that didn't work neither. And then it was so cute. I was like, do you want some water? And he was like, just started like, I was like, oh my God, he's thirsty. So I went and got him some water and gave it to him, and he wouldn't even fucking drink it. I was like, oh man, something's wrong with Puppy. What are we gonna do? I don't think he's feeling good. I really don't know. I don't know how many people were there. Probably. I don't know. I really don't care. Yeah. I think he has fucking split personality too. I do. He said something about being in character. What? Being in character? But now you want to be this fucking hero again? Are you okay? Oh. Hi, honeys. Good morning. What you doing? God, here comes the messages. Yeah, I do believe he said that we, the people in his chat, were his special guest. I think is what I heard him say. Because I was in there for a whole 5 minutes. And I was like, what is this dude even talking about? It's fucking weird. We gotta go to the office. To the office. To the office. get my blankie. But anyways, Flutterman, hey, hopefully next time you're in my DMs, hopefully it's the FOIA report, right? Hopefully it is the FOIA report from the incident that happened with my husband. Okay, I'll give you a couple more days, right? I'll give you a couple more days to show that FOIA report, right? And then what's going to happen next is not going to be pretty. So go ahead and falsify a document on a FOIA report for us really fast, because I can't wait to see it. Okay. Yeah, right? Like, what was that video? Like, what even was that? Like, you put all that time and all that effort into all these songs and all these lyrics just to get the right thing to say what, fuck you, Megan? Like, you wasted your time over there, homeboy. You really did. You wasted your time over there. Let's see if the drama's going on this morning, because yesterday's drama, it was heavy. It was real. And I did watch some videos this morning to try to understand what's going on, because I kind of know what's going on, but I didn't know all of this. And then she came out with all of it, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute, I need to see this shit. But yeah, it's out there. It's definitely out there. And they're not live this morning. Yeah, no. True crime drama is out of hand. Uh-oh. I can't watch that true crime stuff, right? Because it seriously hurts my soul on the shit that is happening. Not even within their drama, but the stories that they cover. I can't sit and listen to, children getting unalived and women getting... I can't listen to that stuff. Well, what happened with Dora? Why is Dora back in the picture? I did see Tingle's live for a split second. But it was like at the end, like a 2-minute at the end. She's taken over to true crime. Really? Is she making that much? Well, good. I mean, good for Dora. If she's making that much money, good for Dora. I mean, I hope whatever she spewed on the internet is fucking true and facts, right? I mean, you can't be mad at somebody because they found their niche. I mean, but I don't know how much I trust Dora either. I mean, I've seen the lies. I've heard the lies. I've watched the lies. I've been a part of the lies. You know what I'm saying? So... Oh, she has an Amazon book now? Good morning. Good morning, my little Pedro. Vote for Pedro. Vote for Pedro. Pedro's the best. She's got an Amazon book? Should we look it up? What is it called? Do we know what it's called? Hi, honeys. Good morning. Well, I want to see about this book she's got. Hi, honeys. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to TikTok. Good morning to you. Right. Does anybody know the name of Dora's book? I want to look at it and see how many's like sold and like the reviews on it and stuff. Oh, your puppy's got to go to physical therapy. Poor puppies. I don't have her account. She's blocked me. Why'd you block me for, Dora? Because I was in there trolling her. She was in her little true crime live, and I was in there trolling her. Aww. I knew! Why are you blocking me for? What did I do to y'all to block me? Wait a minute. Am I reading this correctly? I am asking a question. So Stephanie Case Files, whatever her name is beefing with Dora right now? Is that what I'm reading in my chat? I'm asking, I'm not stating. Oh, not anymore? So we have Dora, right? In all this drama over here on our side of TikTok. And she deletes and blocks everybody. Really? So we have Dora and all this drama and all this beef over here on TikTok, right? And then she blocks and deletes everybody. And she's not answering anybody's questions because we're all fucking crazy over here, right? That's the story. She wants no part in what's going on over here. So she finds this true crime group, and she goes over there and gets all the clout. And she goes over there and she gets all the clout, and everybody falls in love with Dora. And then Stephanie gets mad because she had all of her viewers over there one day. She still goes live on TikTok occasionally once a week. Wow. And now Dora's making thousands of dollars a week on what she's doing. And now all of our side of TikTok is mad at Dora for doing that. Now she's part of true crime in the last couple of years. That's where I first seen her. Wow. Yeah, just pretty much. Hey, that's how the cookie fucking crumbles. That's how the cookie fucking crumbles, man. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Do you know, I don't know if you were in here this morning, that's kind of how it went down.
I'm going to tell you really fast because I don't know if you're in here this morning. Speaking of Florida man, right? In my chat, we're talking about you, Florida man. He has mentioned the fact that he's going to get a FOIA on my husband when my husband had that incident with his blood pressure and heart attack, and he ended up in the hospital, right? And he's telling everybody that no, that's not what it was, that it was an overdose, right? You know that story, right? So I asked Florida man this morning if he got that FOIA because I'm waiting. I'm waiting for him to show it. He's been in my inboxes for 3 days now. So I asked him this morning if he has it because I can't wait to see it. Yeah, imagine that. Yeah, and then what happened? Right, he came up in my live the other day, and I was showing some receipts of a doctor's note in different language, right? And I put it in my Grok. And I asked if this was a real document, and my Grok responded, no, this isn't a real document. So I showed it and explained it to all of TikTok that day. And so he decided to come up in a box. Good morning, honey. Yeah, he decided to come up in my box and explain that I needed more evidence to why and how that document was fake. So he sent me what he does, right? Yeah. Oh, this is fucking fabulous. This is fabulous. He sent me a bunch of screenshots of that same document and that same piece of paper, and explained to all of us about the pigments and the paper and the writing and all of that, right? I don't know word for word. I would have to go back and look, but I do have that, and I will rewatch it. So I explained to all of my new friends that Florida man is an expert at falsifying documents. So I believe what he is saying at that moment in time is the truth and nothing but the truth, because he knows everything about falsifying documents. So Florida man, once again, did you ever receive that FOIA that you said you were going to get? It was hilarious, wasn't it? Absolutely hilarious. I don't think he went that far. I don't think so. He didn't say anything about that. Because, lies. Dorit isn't responsible for what others say and do. She is her own person. What did I miss with Dora? Yeah, he likes to poke, right? He does. And then he's sitting over there. Hi, honey. Good morning. He's sitting over there, crying victim. You should have left me alone, Megan. You should have left me alone. Left you alone? Are you kidding me? Left you alone? I blocked every single one of you motherfuckers. I haven't been around. I've been doing my own thing. I got my shit caught up in a fucking rabbit hole. And you guys are all into this shit. And you're in my DMs. No, I have something really, really good, right? Really good. And Florida man, I'm gonna need for you to show that for you, so I could debunk it. I'm running out of patience over here. I've been waiting almost a month now for you to show it. I really need for you to show that for you. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, would you like for me to show all of TikTok a FOIA that I received? Because I'll be more than happy to do that. Maybe we should wait. Maybe we should wait a little bit longer. Let you guys keep on talking about it first. Make sure everybody knows the lies about Megan. Yeah. Maybe I'll hold a live. And I'll just show everything all at once. That way I don't have to continue to do this. Yeah. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll just keep those cards in my pocket. I understand that. I understand that health workers are not released with FOIAs. I understand that. So that's why I'm waiting for him to show this FOIA that he says that he's going to get, because I can't wait to see what's on it. What's a FOIA? It's a Freedom of Information Act. Anybody could have it. All you got to do is call it the local fucking police department of where you want the information on the person for, and say, hey, I need this date, this time, this person, this address, this location, whatever. And they'll send you all of the police reports that were made to that house. Let me just pin that, right? Let me just pin that that comment really fast. I really wish people could have heard the phone call to Pedro that I made to Pedro that night. Yeah. Yeah. That's a phone call that I would never wish upon my worst enemy to have to receive from any of their loved ones. Absolutely. And thank you, right? Thank you, Pedro, for answering the phone and being there for me, right? And listening to me. And I'm sorry if I fucking traumatized you, but I look at... Oh, wait. Maybe I could retrieve the phone call from the police department. Mm-hmm. Right. Absolutely. I mean, they could send out the FOIA, but they have to black out information. Yeah, they have to black out information. If it's in there, right? If it's in the report, they have to black out the information. Yeah. Good morning, honeys. Hi. Mm-hmm. Good morning, Amanda. How are you, my darling? Oh, wait, we were looking up Dora's book, weren't we? What was the name of it? Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm good. I'm solid now. It's just, and it's not about, right? It's not about defending my truth. That's not what this is about. It's not about me defending my truth. It's about showing the internet that Florida man is lying, right? That's the way that I'm looking at it, right? I know, right, my people, right, my close group over here, I know they believe me. I know they know who I am. And for those people that sit over there that that know me and who I am and know the truth and don't believe that lie, shame on you for allowing it to happen, right? You guys don't have to like me. I don't give a fuck. Right? You guys don't have to fucking like me, but you guys call out everybody else and their behavior and what they do and what they say on this app, and you guys know that that is a bold-faced fucking lie, and not a fuck one of you guys has stood up to him. Unless I'm missing something. Unless I'm missing something. Has anybody over there as a fucking cult fucking participant, what are you guys even fucking called? A fucking went in his box and said, "Wait a minute, Fleur, man, this ain't right. Stop. This isn't okay. Like, this is not." Has any of you guys done that? Am I missing that part? Maybe I am missing that part. Death Row in the Smokies. The Life and Fight of Gary Wayne Newton. Barnes and Nobles. Well, that was fucking fast. She made a book. How long has she been gone? Well, look at, I appreciate that, right? I don't want my people to go over there and say, "Hey, wait a minute, this is wrong." I want his people, right, who used to be over here with me that know the truth to say something, right? I want those girls over there who know the truth to say something to their fucking cult leader for spewing lies on the fucking internet. That's what I want. All right, Barnes and Noble, but I appreciate it. You know, I mean, I've missed Death Row right there. I'm going to pin this really fast. The Life and Fight of Gary Wayne Sutton. I don't know this guy. I don't know his story. I really don't. Tasha Nicole, is that Dora's name? Because that's who this book is by, Tasha Nicole. Oh, is it? I didn't know that. Mama T? Mama T, Mama T? Like Dora's Mama T? Oh, no. Oh. Right. Right. Wow. Well, I mean, good for Dora. I ain't gonna fucking bust no one's fucking hustle. Good for her. I hope whatever she's fucking spewing on the internet is true, though. I really do. I really do. Let's look up. Let me see really fast. What the hell? I need to, what is this? The Saga of Gary Wayne Sutton, Decades on Death Row. Shall we listen to it really fast?
Listen, it's called Connecting, and it's insane. I don't do schedules or timesheets manually anymore. And it works? Oh, like you wouldn't believe it.
So it is about 6:30 in the morning, which is not terrible by TV news standards, and we are on our way to Riverbend Maximum Security Prison because I am going to spend the morning with Gary Wayne Sutton. So he has been on death row since the late 90s. He's convicted of killing Tommy Griffin and Connie Branham. Now, this happened in 1992. I am going as a visitor. I am not going as a news reporter. The Tennessee Department of Correction wouldn't let us bring in a camera, a recorder, a notebook, a pen. You literally can just bring yourself. I did a story around this time last year about people who are on death row in Tennessee. And Carolyn Miller, she's an advocate for Gary Wayne Sutton. She said that she was with him the night that Tommy Griffin and Connie Branham were killed, and that she's part of his alibi. She sent me a message on Facebook. She emailed the newsroom. I think she called the newsroom, saying that we need to look into his case. And we did. So we are on the way to death row now, which feels crazy just based on the amount of work that it took to get here. Sending in multiple applications, waiting for it to be approved. My photo was the wrong size for one of the applications. But this story is pretty interesting. And I think we should really start from the beginning.
Other than the fact that I didn't do this, this was my best friend that got killed. I think people think it's lost with people.
A Blount County jury sent Gary Wayne Sutton to the electric chair in the late 90s. Tennessee isn't executing anybody right now, but once they start back up, he could be next. Gary tells me he didn't kill his best friend, Tommy Griffin, and he didn't kill Tommy's sister, Connie Branham, either. Heather Cohen, a private investigator from Nashville who's worked numerous high-profile cases, says she's tracked down key witnesses and jurors who don't think there's enough evidence to prove Gary killed anyone.
Barbara Gordon was one of the first witnesses that I spoke with. She was a key witness in the case. And, one of the first things she said to me was that she had lost sleep because she was not sure that the white truck that she saw that day was James Dillinger's. And she really felt like, more or less, they put words in her mouth.
The clock is ticking for Cohen and for Sutton, along with his loved ones who want Governor Bill Lee to sit down with them, hear them out, and exonerate Gary. The Tennessee Department of Correction wouldn't let me interview him in person, but said I could write him a letter and see if he calls back. Carolyn Miller and Sutton were dating when he got arrested, and they were together the night Tommy went missing. Miller is now leading the charge for Sutton's freedom.
We don't know exactly what we can do, what needs to be done. We just know that we need people to listen.
Could you guys hear okay?
And we need to show, we need people to know.
I know you guys are right up next to my computer.
Sutton's road to death row started here, along the Little River in Walland. That's where Tommy Griffin's body was found in 1992.
I'll turn it up a
The
little
case
bit.
went through Sevier County, where Sutton was convicted of killing Griffin's sister, and went in front of a Blount County jury, who sentenced him to the electric chair after returning a guilty verdict in Griffin's death. It all happened during a rare Sunday court session in 1996.
What I went through, all these years, not having any lawyers that really cared enough to get in there and do anything.
There are a lot of moving parts in Sutton's case. He tells me that Sevier County's newspaper, the Mountain Press, covered Connie Branham's trial extensively. They did, and the story is told within these pages. Prosecutors built the case on the theory that James Dellinger and Sutton were fighting with Tommy before he died. The case moved ahead with that theory, and they say Connie died when she went looking for her brother. Gary and James were tried together.
There was definitely an obvious problem with the trial, starting with the fact that the DA had admitted in open court that they had no evidence on Gary, and that if they separated the trial between him and his uncle, that they would have to let him walk because they had nothing tying him to this.
Cohen says she thinks someone else killed Tommy and Connie based on her investigation, a man named Lester Johnson. She says Johnson has since died. Cohen says she's not exactly sure how Tommy and Connie were tied to Johnson, but they were to testify in an assault trial where he was a suspect. Connie and Tommy never showed up. Johnson walked. Here's what Johnson's girlfriend said happened next.
She ended up giving a statement that said that day she picked him up from jail and took him and dropped him off in Sevier County. And this is the day that Tommy went missing.
And of course, the victims and their family are important here too. Tommy and Connie's mother, Viola Griffin, said this about whoever killed her kids in a 1992 interview with 10 News.
And I don't know how anybody could be so cruel and live in our community or society out here.
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 here.
Even Tommy and Connie's brother, James Griffin, says someone fired bullets into his car after his siblings were killed.
The people that go out and kill anybody and burn them up and shoot anybody in the back of the head, it's sort of dangerous, isn't it?
Gary claims he's not bitter, but spending his life in a cinder block cell is a nightmare. Before hanging up, he tells me his story serves as a warning and a reminder.
I just like people to know that you can get here by being in it.
We have finally crossed into Central Time, so technically it's 7 a.m., but really it's about 8 a.m. Knoxville time. So after the first story aired, one thing that was missing is that we didn't have any contacts for the victim's family. Well, as soon as our first story aired, they called us at Channel 10, they sent emails, they posted on our Facebook page that they really think that Gary Sutton is responsible, one of the people responsible for their family members' deaths. So I went to Sevier County and spoke to the daughter of Connie Branham. She actually still lives across the street from where Tommy's trailer burned down. And this is what she had to say.
Excuse me, sir, how old were you when you made your first million?
What is this for?
We're trying to get advice for the younger generation.
Tommy and Connie lived in this Sevier County holler until the day they died. And Connie's daughter and Tommy's niece, Sandy Branham, still calls it home. Sandy was a teenager when her mom died, and her memories of her alive are fond. The happy times are in these photo books, showing trips out of town and her mom and her dad together.
Oh, she was a good person. We went camp. We all love to go camping, whether we go hiking. We do things like that. She was a family person.
Sandy says her world was rocked when her Uncle Tommy went missing in 1992. And so was her grandmother, Viola Griffin. And here's what she told 10 News when it happened.
Connie Branham told Mrs. Griffin she was going out to look for her brother. She told her mother she feared something was wrong.
That morning, I was so upset over everything. My granny was going to go with her. Thank the Lord she didn't. She called and told us that she had to go look for him, that she just felt like something was wrong.
Hidden in Sevier County, the Martin Justice Cemetery holds the memories of the Griffin family. Connie and Tommy, they're both buried here, and their tombstones tell a story of both love and tragedy. Just steps away is the grave of their mother, Viola Griffin. She died 2 years after they were killed and before anyone could be tried in Tommy's death. Veteran newspaper reporter Jamie Satterfield covered the story from the start.
Connie Branham's mother, and of course Tommy's mother, she was beside herself because now 2 of her children are missing.
Viola Griffin told 10 News about the relationship between Tommy and Connie in 1992.
The hardest part is
it lagging?
Because in 86.
Is it lagging? I'm stuck on comments. No, it's not. Not for you. Okay.
It was why he had a car.
Then
wreck.
exit left.
Hospital for 2 years.
Close out your app and then come back in.
Beside the one that's gone.
I've spoken to the man on death row for the killings twice on the phone for prison. Both times, he insists he didn't kill anyone.
He was more like a brother to me than just a friend. I mean, we were just really close. Never had a horse word between us.
Sandy says she's convinced Gary did it and that he should never leave prison.
Even though it's been 30-some years, it's still hard, to deal with it. And to me, I would just wish they did life without parole, so we don't have to sit in here and go through this every so often. But, back then we wanted the death sentence for them because of what they done. And now it's just, we still have to live it.
It's not real clear what the motive was in the killing of Tommy Griffin. There was an allegation that Mr. Dellinger and Mr. Sutton were angry at him, maybe thought he had snitched on them. But the more egregious motive was with Connie, because Connie had no role in this thing, had done nothing to Mr. Dellinger, Mr. Sutton. She was simply trying to find her brother, and she was killed to prevent her from doing that, from finding out where her brother was and who hurt him.
James Dellinger, seen here trying to punch a newspaper photographer during the trials, had ties to the Griffin family.
Mr. Dellinger was known, had a reputation as being a fairly calm guy, except when he got drunk. And they were drunk when they left the bar.
You could be sitting here right now, like talking to me and you, and be just perfectly fine with one another. And then next thing you know, James might go over and use the bathroom, come back behind you and kill you. That's just the type of person he was. Him and Gary both, I reckon.
Gary says he's innocent, but here's what he told me when I asked about his uncle. Do you know where your uncle was the night that Tommy died? I mean, do you think that he had anything to do with this? Do you think he was also convicted wrongly?
Well, I don't know. I don't think he had anything against Tommy or Connie as far as that went. I mean, I'm not sure really, to be honest.
Oh, he's lying.
The problem was the older brother, which his name is James Griffin. Him and my uncle's having problems for some reason, and that's the reason they was saying, well, this is probably what happened here,
He was stuttering over his words trying to answer that question.
I don't even know what they were into it over it.
Beyond the killing itself is the suffering that happens on the part of the family, because they have somebody they love who's just snatched from them. They have to sit in the same room with the person they believe has killed their loved one and show no reaction.
I have a letter that Gary would like me for me to address to everyone. He says, first, I'd like to thank everyone for coming and standing up for me today.
Carolyn Miller is leading the charge to get Sutton off death row. Satterfield says she doesn't think Sutton will be exonerated, but she does feel for everyone who's involved in these cases.
The family members of the people accused in these crimes, they suffered too, because now they have this shame, their family members on the TV and on the front page, and they love this person even though they may not love what they did. And the innocents are the family members on both sides.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it just by
wow, that's what Dora got herself into.
Phase 44.
So Heather Cohen, she's the private investigator in this case. She says she found an alternate suspect, Lester Johnson.
Hi,
She
honeys.
also
Good
said
morning.
She had issues with the medical
We're going down a
examiner
new
in
rabbit
this
hole.
case, and issues with the evidence that was found in this case as well. So here's a different perspective on this.
Gary Sutton, along with his uncle James Dellinger, was sent to death row in Blount County in 1996. News reports about the case set this scene. Tommy, Gary, and James all went to a Blount County bar in February 1992. Everyone got drunk. Tommy got arrested, and James and Gary went to bail him out of the Blount County jail. Tommy wasn't seen alive again. His sister went looking for him, and she ended up dead too. Well-known Tennessee private investigator Heather Cohen's taken on Gary's case for exoneration. She says he has an alibi, and she has some problems with evidence in this case.
Cohen tells me that she's talked to a witness in this case who says she's not actually sure she saw this white truck around the time Tommy Griffin went missing. This was a key piece of testimony in the trial. She says the medical examiner who testified about when Tommy Griffin died lost his medical license and credibility later on. And the placing of two shotgun shells laying side by side in a crime scene photo is impossible.
And they have this other photo where they went back after they had done their search of James Dillinger's trailer, coincidentally enough. Then all of a sudden there's these spent shotgun shells that match shotgun shells from James Dillinger's. And they weren't there before, and then they were there, and they're laying perfectly side by side.
Cohen's investigation has the attention of a Tennessee lawmaker whose district is 300 miles away from East Tennessee. Senator Paige Wally says he's contacted Governor Lee about the case after talking to Cohen.
If we are going to have a death penalty and we're going to actually put someone to death, we damn well better be certain the verdict was just.
Sandy Branham is the daughter of Connie Branham and the niece of...
Wait a minute. I need a cigarette. Wait a minute. So they're getting ready to retry him? Is that what's going on? Is that what I'm reading in my chat? In May? I'm asking, not stating, right? For anybody who wants to be a troll right now. These are questions. His family members are on her panel, so she's like legit friends with these people. Okay, let's not use the word friends. Okay, let's not use the word friends. Okay, an advocate. Fine, that's okay. Okay. Really?
Griffin. She tells me she thinks the investigators got everything in this case exactly right.
And I'm sorry that he's in there. He's in there where he's at, but he needs to be there. He needs to admit his wrongdoings because he's going to go to hell if he don't. I think James did. He's in hell because he never would.
So it's about 9 a.m. Central Time. We are less than 2 miles from Riverbed Maximum Security Prison. I've been to jail before to visit people and speak with people. I have not been to prison. So in a lot of ways,
really?
It's a feeling of disbelief because it took so long to get here, but at the same time, you know, less than a year.
Are there clips of that? I would like to see that. Are you from that town as well, honey? Or you were just in that live?
When we got the message from Carolyn Miller to check out Gary Sutton's case, we're going to speak to him. So it almost feels surreal. Because again, it felt like, oh my gosh, we had to wait so long to get approval. But at the same time, it hasn't even been a year since we first learned about his story. So
Good morning, honey.
it's a little bit crazy. Carolyn Miller has warned me that it isn't the most pleasant place. I mean, it's a maximum security prison. So I am not sure if I am going to walk into just like a normal lobby, like I've been in a jail lobby before.
I'm gonna
I'm assuming that there's going to be a lot of security and probably a lot of metal detectors. I'm not allowed to wear any jewelry. Can't wear my watch.
I will definitely do that.
Basically a turtleneck and sneakers and jeans. Not what I would typically wear in a news setting. But I'm expecting to see a lot of security.
So everybody who's coming in, right? Dora the Explorer on this app got brought up, right? And what she's doing on her platform and all of that, right? I don't know. I don't watch her. I don't like the whole true crime community. Not that I don't like them, but some of the topics that they talk about, I can't handle it. So I don't watch it, right? But she, I guess, just wrote a book about this Gary Wayne Sutton, and she's selling it now on Barnes & Noble. And I don't know anything about the story of Gary Wayne Sutton. So we're listening to YouTube right now. There is a news reporter who is getting ready to go into the prison where he's located at and have a conversation with him. And we're just learning about what his story is and what had happened. Yeah.
I don't know if I'll get to see like the cell block or anything, but it's a little bit intimidating. It's maximum security prison. It's death row.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I mean, Dora has lied multiple times on this app, just to let you know. I mean,
Gary Sutton came out, and
there's an account. I don't know if you know or not. Tangled Webs. Stop! I don't want to play with you right now. Just go away. I mean, if that's what she wants to do, good for her. I mean, there's, but with everybody, right? There's people are gonna have haters regardless.
Wearing a baseball cap, a white
Right.
t-shirt. He was wearing T-Doc issued pants. He had a beard, but you could tell that he had taken care of the shaving. And we just started talking, and we really got right into it. So we started talking about his case first and foremost. And a lot of things that he had already told me, that he is not responsible for the deaths of Tommy Griffin and Connie Branham. He told me that, he had been taught by his father, who I have interviewed. He's 94 years old now. He'd been taught by his father.
I just don't like the fact that when all this stuff came out about the husband, what is that lady's name? The husband, she fucking bounced on her ass the way she did. I don't like that. They were really good friends, and instead of sitting there supporting her through all of that horrible situation, she fucking blacked and bounced on everybody.
Do not place your hands on a woman. So he found it very offensive and not within his character when he was accused of and convicted.
Yeah.
Truly put on death row for the killing of Connie Branham. That did not match his character because he was taught to never lay his hands on a woman. He said that he wasn't sure if Tommy was moving drugs in his prosthetic leg, but Tommy had a prosthetic leg since he had met him, since he was a kid. I asked him, did your uncle have anything to do with any of these crimes? Did he kill these people? Do you think he was capable of killing these people? And he gave sort of the non-committal answer he's given me before, which is basically, I don't know. It's possible, but he maintains he had nothing to do with it. He said that him and his uncle, once they had both gotten arrested, the bad blood was deep between both of them. And then a couple of years ago, on Christmas Eve, Gary said that he was waiting for his lunch tray or breakfast tray to get out because it was Christmas Eve, and they wouldn't let him out because they were afraid for his safety. And the reason why they were afraid for his safety was his uncle was going around telling people that he was going to kill Gary for Christmas. He told me that his uncle died from cancer. We had known before that his uncle had died on death row before he was executed, but we didn't really know what the illness was. Gary told me it was cancer. I asked him too, if you get out, what do you want to do? What are some of the things that you really, really miss? And he said, obviously, he misses his family. He was a big fisherman, hunter. He said the one thing that he really misses is listening to like the rooster waking you up in the morning. And I asked him too, I said, listen, like, if a date is set, like, how do you feel about that? What do you think about the fact that you could die soon? And he said, you know, it definitely feels like the Grim Reaper is on my back right now because I don't know what's going to happen.
So it's been about a month since I visited Gary Sutton on death row, and there really hasn't been any movement in his case. The state has set execution dates for other people who are on death row. He had an execution date at one point, but that got wiped away because Tennessee had paused executions for a few years. There had been an issue with the lethal injection protocol. The lethal injection protocol has been put back into place. That happened around Christmas of 2024. But just because there's no movement in his case, his supporters say that they are still going to fight for his freedom and do everything that they can to get him exonerated.
I mean, you're more than welcome to share the live to whoever you like, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know much about this story quite yet. I don't know. Hi, Animal. What kind of questions I would ask. I think we should just go over to her page and just listen to what she says on her page, I think would be best. I like to be a little more knowledgeable. Mama T, is that her name? What is her at that she has all these videos on?
Viola Griffin.
Because I put in Ophelia. Mama Tot. Let's try Mama Tot. Does she have a cartoon character as her profile? There's no content. She hasn't posted any videos, but she's got 108,000 followers. Big Mama J. Oh, is she live? This isn't her. Oh, Spicy Amber's in that live.
Here, you see all the recordings that it was recorded from just this morning from
Dora.
6 a.m. And then if I go to today, I can see the recordings from today, but then I click the calendar and I can go all the way back to February 1st.
Yeah, Dora is in her page, but they're on the same Savannah.
And I can also go back to January 10th. All the way
Dora
back.
is using her platform.
There's January.
Are we talking about Mama Tot?
I can go all the way back and see.
Well, and I mean, they show...
And the clips that it generates for me, I can download them all. If I want to download them to save
Big Mama
them,
J,
I can just
that's
go
Dora's
back in and
wife,
just click
right?
the download button beside of them. And download
No, not her.
Chef, as far Chef Snow Angel, as far as mine, I have a shit ton of recordings, but I can pop like an SD card in there and save it to there, and it will pretty much 6 months at a time if I pop the SD card in there.
Oh, girlfriend.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why when Courtney said that, oh, mine doesn't have an SD card, I knew right there she was getting rid of evidence because if you have an SD card in there, it runs to your SD card. You pop that SD card out, it doesn't give you any of that memory.
Oh, she's pulling back in her house. It just alerted me.
Just search justice for Gary
She probably
Wayne.
came home and saw the TV. Telling all her secrets. He's going to get out of the car and yell at you.
Oh, let's talk. It literally. Yeah, it shows me.
You did the alarm. Hi, you were.
Yes, this is live right now.
Watch. Hold on. She's getting. You hear the car beep? There she goes. She's going up to the front porch. I'm gonna do it when she gets on the front porch.
Oh, wait, there it was. Gary Wayne Sutton page. Justice for Gary Wayne Sutton. Gary Wayne Sutton page. Justice for Gary Wayne wrongfully convicted. I don't know who this is, but... Okay, I'll do that next. Oh, here's a news. I can't hear it though.
Has been investigating this situation for months.
The case against Gary Sutton was never strong. There isn't even a motive. But now, 31 years later, the case is even weaker, thanks to the love of a woman and the work of a private detective. Carolyn Miller and Gary Sutton were boyfriend and girlfriend in 1992.
That's as loud as it goes.
But then something happened that changed everything. Gary's best friend, Tommy Griffin, was shot to death. The victim's sister, Connie Branham, was burned alive at a different location. Gary Sutton and his uncle, James Dellinger, were charged with the double murder. 2 shotgun shells found at the Tommy Griffin murder scene matched shells found in Dellinger's home. A witness heard the shots near the Griffin murder. Another witness placed Dellinger's white truck fleeing the scene where Connie Branham was burned alive. Even then, there was no real evidence against Gary Sutton except the fact he spent a lot of time with his uncle. After his conviction, Carolyn Miller moved on to a new life. But then when she heard on the news Gary was coming up for an execution date, she felt the need to contact him.
When I talked to him, it was just like all these things came rushing back in, and I knew it was just the Gary that I've always known. And so I just started doing research.
That led to the hiring of private detective Heather Cohen, who started re-interviewing witnesses and looking at evidence.
At the root of this whole story, it is a love story. It's a story of a woman that never stopped loving a man who was convicted for a crime that he didn't commit. She is the reason we're here today.
And this reinvestigation all starts at a crime scene at the foot of this murder. The moment police discover a murder scene, it is the most critical moment. They have to cordon off everything and start searching, and not a normal search. We're talking about every square inch of the entire scene, because the hope is there's going to be something there, important evidence that tells you something about the murder. Well, in Tommy Griffin's case,
Oh, should we go over there? What's her at?
According to the family, it's this crime scene photograph.
That's her at? Oh, she's talking about...
Network implications. If 600 pounds were inbound, then who financed that? Which, back then it was the Iran-Contra affair. And the CIA was smuggling pew-pews south, and then the same planes were picking up cocaine to bring back and distribute. Who was the Tennessee receiver? I've already said that.
Girl.
Found the co-defendants. Was there a broader ring?
She talking about something else though.
Okay, we know his arrest date, but I can't find his indictment. I'm gonna have to do a FOIA or something to even get any of that. But the scale of it suggests very high risks, you can imagine. And that movie, you all have got to watch. This will put it in perspective. Let me find that movie. Oh crap, I turned it off.
That's not his girlfriend talking.
Tomorrow we're going to go over the escape itself. But let's see, did I read that? After a quarter of a century, still no sign of a fugitive who vanished
I'm looking
in South
right
Florida.
now.
Gerald Hemp is totally an 80s bad guy. The kind you'd expect to encounter on Miami Vice. I don't know why my TV's not. But it's not just because Hemp was known to ferry huge shipments of cocaine by private plane. What made Hemp special was his facility for shifting identities and slipping out of prisons. Okay. Raised in the Midwest, there was something about Florida
She's
that
not
appealed
talking
to
about
him.
what we're
According
talking
to the
about.
Knoxville News
We're not
story
gonna,
from this weekend, Hemp's first disappearing act occurred in our state around 1978, when he's believed to have been caught defrauding an investor. Hemp resurfaced in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and stop me if this sounds familiar, bought expensive real estate and started showering local
Is that the little girl? I mean,
generous
I don't want to say little girl, but is that the girl that they were live walking around a crime scene looking for her? Is that who you're talking about? Because I couldn't watch that. After I seen that, it made me so sick. I had to stop. Yeah, I had to stop watching that. All right, let me just check my messages really fast and see what is going on here. Yeah, that was wild. That was friggin' wild. Okay, sounds good, honey. All right, let my phone boost up, and we're gonna look into who Mama T, and
The prosecution openly admitted in court, by the way, that if the trials were separated, Gary Sutton would walk. For years, we have been screaming justice for Gary Wayne Sutton. Why? Because on February 21st in 1992, Gary Wayne Sutton, his uncle James Dellinger, and his best friend Tommy Griffin stopped at Howie's Hideaway, a roadside bar in Tennessee. Gary and Tommy were inseparable. They were the best of friends. They spent nearly all of their time together. And that night, witnesses later claimed that the men were seen
that's the girlfriend's
arguing with
page.
two unidentified males or individuals known as Chief and Cowboy. No real names were ever obtained, no follow-up investigation ever occurred, and those two men completely disappeared from the record. Now, after leaving the bar, the group stopped at a local liquor store, and from there, Tommy Griffin left with a dark-haired woman he had met at the bar earlier that evening. Now, this matters because it becomes the last consistent explanation of where Tommy went. Not long after that, Tommy was arrested for public intoxication on Alcoa Highway. The arresting officers noted something unusual, though, that Tommy appeared frightened, he appeared shaken, and he refused to explain why to them. Now, even more concerning is the officer's report did not mention the woman whatsoever Tommy had left with. Instead, noted two older men in a dark-colored truck nearby. Those two men were, again, never identified, they were never questioned, and they were never investigated. Now, while Tommy sat in jail, his trailer
Mama T
was
Public
set
2
on
is
fire.
her app. Okay,
Family
thanks
members
for
saw the
that,
fire
if you're still in
and
here.
ran to James Dellinger's trailer, where...
All right. Mama T Public 2. Oh, here she is. Yeah, this is why it's so fucking important that when people speak about things, they get the correct
Gary Wayne
information.
Sutton rallied at the state capitol today, calling on Governor Bill Lee to step in and stop Sutton's execution. They say there are serious problems with Sutton's conviction, including no direct evidence, questions about the state's expert witness, and concerns about Sutton's intellectual ability or disability. WSMV's Jolene Bukovac was there and shows us what they're asking the governor to do now.
A small crowd gathered on the Capitol steps Tuesday morning with a big request for Governor Bill Lee. They want him to review the case of Gary Sutton and take him off death row before his execution on December 3rd.
Gary was convicted of taking the life of his best friend, and that didn't happen.
Sutton has been on death row since 1996, following his conviction in the 1992 killings of Tommy Griffin and his sister, Connie Brenham. Miller says she was Sutton's alibi and believes he's innocent.
I was with him at the time. That's not a theory. That is a fact, and that's the truth.
A private investigator says she's found missing information and has concerns about the investigation.
Once an execution happens, there is no appeal, there is no remedy, there is no way to correct that mistake.
Sutton's daughter, Cassandra Young, told the crowd that her dad has missed nearly her whole life, and she's begging the governor to take another look.
Just look at his case, because you will find that he's
His
innocent.
daughter is a
His family has an
grown
online
woman.
petition and is urging Tennesseans to contact the governor's office. They say a full review is the only way to prevent what they believe would be an irreversible mistake. Reporting in Nashville, I'm Jolene Bukovac, WSMV4.
Wow.
Gary Wayne Sutton rallied.
No justice, no peace, no justice, no peace, no justice.
There's a phone number here.
No justice, no peace.
I will show this to you guys if anybody wants to call this number in support of this man and what is going on. Oops, sorry, wrong. Right there. You guys want to screenshot it, write it down, take a picture, whatever. This lady is making videos for this phone number. They do lives often, and Gary will be on the phone as well. Really? On this page here? They do lives on this page here when he's on the phone? Oh, she follows me. He calls her from print. She follows me. Has she been in my live and I haven't realized like what is going on? What page is it? It's Mama T Public 2 is her page. Okay, so anybody that is confused, coming in brand new, right? We are on a new rabbit hole. We have made a sharp left. The topic of Dora got brought up and what Dora was doing. Dora wrote a book about this gentleman and she's selling it on Barnes & Noble's website. There's a lot of haters out there that are hating her for this because she's in this true crime and she's doing all these things and she's making all this money, right? We're all going to have haters, but that's not the topic, right? So this is who Dora was covering and talking about and all that stuff. I knew nothing about this. So now I'm getting in this rabbit hole. My chat is informing me of this woman here who is advocating for this man. He's on death row for falsely being accused of unaliving 2 people, right? There's no solid evidence that he has done this. And there's witnesses stating, right? We just heard there's a witness stating that she, the lady, was with him, the guy who's being charged with these horrible crimes. She was with the gentleman at the time of the unaliving. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And so we're just getting, this is the beginning. We're just getting in this rabbit hole. That's all. And this woman right here, right, has posted this video. It's a phone number that I guess you could call, probably the governor. I would assume. I don't know. But I guess all of TikTok is on this Free Gary Wayne Sutton train because he's being falsely accused of something horrible, and there's no solid evidence to prove that he did this. So let's see. I'm not calling fucking nobody. You know what happened last time? I called somebody on a live, Animal. Do I need to make your fucking memory like come back to you? I am not calling nobody on a live. Jesus God. Oh, fuck. He comes on and talks on the free. As long as it's not 3 a.m., we should be good. What the hell? Oh my God, you guys got my blood pressure rising just from... Shut the front door! I know, right? It's absolutely hilarious. It really truly is, and I'm glad that all of TikTok has been entertained for the past 2 years over that phone call. No, I have to work. You down here, right here. Do we know what time this phone call is going to take place? And is she going to go live with it? Okay. Ow. That's an understatement, right? You can't hear if you can't hear, please kindly exit left and come back in unless I need to restart my TikTok. Someone else can't hear. I'll try to use the wife's phone and call it. I was gonna play Animal, absolutely. If you want to, come on up here, girl. I mean, boy. Sorry. Come on up here. If you want to make the phone call, I'll be more than happy to 7 Eastern. Okay, hold on. Let me okay, you hear me fine. Okay, we're going to follow you back, and then we're going to go to this page. Well, hold on. There's a lot going on, so I have to first I have to follow this person that sent me the woman's page. And I'm going to turn the bell on really fast so when she posts videos. Okay, so I just now followed the Mama Tia account. I did have to go out and come back in. Okay, fine. So the woman that is going to go live tonight with this phone call, what, again, please, I know I'm asking over and over. What was her, somebody could pin that, one of my mods. Yeah, Animal, give me just a minute, honey, okay? Justice, okay. Okay, I got it. Let me pin this really fast. Wait. That's her page. She's going. Okay. Okay, 5. Yeah, this one right here. Okay. Okay. So I got her page. I'm gonna follow her and turn turn the bell on for her because I will be at work tonight. And you best believe I will be listening. So anybody wants to be involved in this and listen, this is her page right here. She's going to go live with this gentleman who is in prison for falsely being accused of unaliving 2 people. And this is her girlfriend, or his girlfriend, correct? I'll share the page. I had to cancel for a minute. Yeah, that's fine. Definitely will be. Take your time. I'm still not a mod. You're fine. I couldn't share the page. We're not friends. Cashew. I'll follow you back right now. Go ahead and send it over to me. See, so unfortunately, if I was... Okay. So Carolyn is the girlfriend. She's the one that's running the page. She's the one that's going to be having this phone call with him on a live. And you said about 7 o'clock Eastern time, just to let the chat know, right? 7 o'clock Eastern time. Hey, Dramatalk, are you there? Could you please go over to her page at 7 p.m. and record that live so that we could go back and listen to it later? Because unfortunately, I have to be at work, and I can't do that. You got the whole thing? You have storage for the whole thing? Or for the most part even, right? Okay. Okay. And then you could... Wow, this is heavy. This is heavy shit, man. All right, let's finish watching her page.
Rally to the state capitol today. They're calling on Governor Lee to stop his execution. Sutton is scheduled to be put to death on December 3rd. He was convicted for the 1992 killings of Tommy Griffin and his sister, Connie Braham. One of the Sutton's friends says she was with him at the time of the killings.
The number? Yeah, I'll show the number. I'll show the number again. Absolutely show the number again. There it is. Yeah, please, any pages that you guys know of, just share their profile with me, because I'll watch their videos and I'll definitely get into this deep dive. This is wild shit. December as of right now. Well, you know what, and they keep talking about December 3rd. So December 3rd of this year, I mean, but someone in the chat said that something about May. There was a retrial in May. I wonder if they're going to televise it. It's the Tennessee's governor office. Okay. I wonder if they're going to televise this retrial. Right. Court TV will probably have it. Something like that. Yeah, can you give me a quick recap? Yes, ma'am. I think he was granted retrial in May, or there's a petition for it. Right. Recap really fast. We were talking about Dora and what she's doing over on her platforms. and how she covered this Gary Wayne Sutton gentleman, and I don't know anything about it. I'm just now learning about it. So that's all we're doing, is getting some pretty good pages. And we're just watching videos and learning about his story. We just watched a YouTube video that was, I don't know, probably about a half hour of the news lady that went into the prison and had a conversation with him. And we learned a lot within the past 20 minutes or so, half hour or so, that we have been talking about this. So that's all we're doing. He is a gentleman that is being falsely accused of unaliving 2 people. And there is a lady, I believe is, was it his girlfriend that testified that she was with him at the time all of this happened? Or was that just a friend? Hi, football mommy, what's up? Oh, she is. It was his girlfriend. Hi, Mama T, honey, how are you? I can give you anything you need. And Gary Wayne. Absolutely, please come up and have, yeah, absolutely. I was being informed that you plan on having a live tonight with the phone call with this gentleman. So yeah, please request a box. Absolutely. Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, honey?
I am doing good. I've had a couple of people to message me, and they said that you guys were talking about Gary Wayne. I can't stay on long because I am at work, but while I'm eating, I figured I would pop on and say hi. And thank you for bringing his name out to your people. I'm very grateful for that.
Absolutely.
What do you know, or do you want me to just kind of start from?
To be perfectly honest with you, this right now, today, the past half hour that we have been talking about it is what I know. I'm brand new to all of this. So the videos that I have been watching on your page and a couple other pages is what I know. So whatever you would like to talk to us about and inform us, that would be greatly appreciated, right?
Yeah, well, we know there's 35 years worth of stuff because he's been in prison for 35 years now. Just to kind of give you some of the most up-to-date information. He does have a court date that's scheduled for May. It's May 26th, 7th, and 8th. That court date specifically is only for his IDD claim, the intellectual disability claim card. That is something that should have been done for him when he originally went to trial. Had he been granted this IDD before his trial, then he would not have been allowed to be sentenced to unaliving.
Right. Okay.
So we're hoping that they grant this card in May, because if they do, then we will get to go in front of the parole board, because in 1994, when he was actually sentenced, life sentencing was only 25 years. And he's been there for 35. So they would have to, I don't want to say they have to, but they should actually release him on that. That's our prayers, okay? Worst case scenario, and I always like to look at, both sides and be the devil's advocate here. Let's say that he doesn't get the IDD claim, okay? They turn it down in May. We still have evidence, and we also have knowledge of a lot of different failures in this case. The number one failure is the medical examiner himself, okay? The medical examiner has been on trial for numerous of cases, one specifically being Gary's case. Another I can tell you was a child abuse case. And all 7 of these were convicted to unaliving. 5 of the 7 has been overturned because of his lack of information and lack of truth, okay? He has falsified a lot of stuff in the trial. One of the biggest things that you can see like in the transcripts and everything through trial is that Charles Harlan testifies that the unalivings happened on a Friday. Now, those unalivings would have had to have happened on a Friday in order to have met the timeline that the state was looking for. Okay? However, when the bodies were found, this is the kicker, when the bodies were actually found, then they were found on a Monday and they were still in rigor mortis. And in order to still be in rigor mortis, they would have had to have died in the 12-hour period max. Okay?
Right.
And so that alone doesn't even match the timeline to the Friday unalivings. That's the biggest kick in this case. The second part, Gary has an alibi. He was with Carolyn all weekend long. Okay? She has tried to testify to that. She tried to get the investigators to go to the hotel that they stayed in that weekend and interview the people that was working in 90s when this actually happened.
Right.
They refused to do that. They wouldn't do it. They wouldn't go and talk to anybody. So that's an alibi for him. And then you also have, let me think of the other bigger things here. He's never been in trouble since he's been in prison. He's never had any kind of write-ups or anything. They all kind of say that, he's been more like a role model to a lot of the inmates that's coming in.
Right.
Let's talk about the Miranda rights. That's another big thing in this case too. He was not read his Miranda rights when he was arrested on March the 3rd. They did not read him his Miranda rights until a couple of hours later. And then this was his best friend. Let's not forget that. That is the one thing I always like to remind people. Tommy was Gary's best friend, okay? And they actually stayed with each other quite often from what I understand, listening to Gary.
Right.
And whenever Tommy started missing, Gary was being that friend, and he went to the police department to help the law find him. And Gary willingly give him information trying to help find his friend, okay? So they kind of took that information, and that was on the 25th of February, okay? On the 28th of February, they actually called Gary back into the station, and I guess they had more questions for him. And so naturally, Gary goes back to the station thinking he's helping find his friend. At some point through all of the conversations that was happening with the law enforcement and with Gary, I guess Gary must have got some kind of weird feeling. I mean, we all know sometimes when you don't start feeling right. And at that point, he decided to quit talking.
Right.
And he told the law that he wanted to invoke his right to an attorney. Now, he still was not under arrest at this time, okay? So keep that in mind. But he was still going to invoke his rights to his attorney. So questioning was supposed to stop at that moment, okay? March the 3rd is when Gary was actually arrested for this. They pick him up. He was not read his Miranda rights when they actually put him in handcuffs. They bring him back to the station, and this is actually testified in court, okay? They bring him back to the station. He's waiting for questioning. There's an officer that sits down beside him and makes some, I wish I could quote it word for word, but basically makes some little sly comment of something, you better be praying to God or something like that. It was a crazy comment. Or you better figure your story out. It was something like that. And again, that's in the transcripts, and I can go back if anybody wants to know the exact words to it. But at this time, he still hadn't had Miranda rights read to him. Okay. Remember, February 28th, he invoked his right to an attorney. So when they put him in handcuffs, two things should have happened. His attorney should have been called, and his Miranda rights should have been read. And neither one of those happened until Gary was at the police station for like 3 or 4 hours. It was a while. So he actually had some questioning done to him on March the 3rd when he was arrested without his attorney and also without his Miranda rights being read to him. So those are a couple of big highlights for this case. And Carolyn is the girlfriend of Gary. Carolyn was the girlfriend of Gary when everything, took place. Justice for Gary Wayne Sutton is the page name. And she typically does go live a couple of, yes, Travesty, yes. She typically tries to go live on Mondays and Thursdays, and we are blessed enough to get to listen to Gary talk. Sometimes we get to ask questions. It really just depends on how the live is going. But we have to remember that he, is still incarcerated, so we have to be super careful in what we ask and how we ask it. But if you hear Gary on a phone call, you will truly see how sincere this man is. Even being behind bars, it is, I'm not sure how I can explain him. Like, he's very humble and he's still very positive. I mean, think about spending 35 years in a 6x9 cell and still being positive. I try to be a positive person, but I don't think I could stay positive being there for 35 years,
Yeah, that's gotta be hard, absolutely.
His attorney, I will say, during the appeals process, he was granted a couple of different appeals, but one of the biggest appeals, he won the appeal process to get to file something. And I'd have to go back again and look. However, his attorney had like 30 days to prepare the documents and get everything turned in for this appeal. She doesn't turn it in. So naturally, he did not get that appeal because of her failure. It's not him. Remember, he's not the attorney. It was her.
Right.
And that happened to him several different times. Unfortunately, good luck has not been on Gary's side when it comes to this case. And if you take the time, you read the documents, you look at everything. Some of the crime scene stuff that I have seen, the first photo that I see on my Dropbox is there is no pew-pew shells close to the body, okay? However, if you go down through the pictures, and number one picture, there is no pew-pew shells. Then you scroll down, the next day they went back and took other photos, and all of a sudden there's 2 pew-pew shells, and they're side by side. Okay. Now, scientifically, if you pew somebody, yes, and they're shotgun shells, and he had 5. There was like 5 shots in I think it's the left-hand side. But anyway, they're like, kind of take your hand and do a softball, and that's kind of the 5 shots that kind of went in, and where they went in, you wouldn't have anything left. Okay. Think about it. I mean, we all know how big a big, shot. It's a shot. I can't say everything else. But then the shells land side by side. Scientifically, no matter how many times you pew something, there's 2 shells laying side by side is not even possible. Okay. So that is definitely something to think about, when you start to look into this. And there's a lot of videos, I will say, on YouTube for this case specifically. You can also watch the Mike Weatherford podcast on here. He's got some good information on there, and that's also where Carolyn and them are at as well.
Could you repeat that name one more time? Who did you say?
It's Mike Weatherford. I'll put it in the chat for you.
Okay, thank you.
And then also, as you guys, start to talk about him or whatever, what we typically do, what we've been doing, I will say, is calling the governor's office.
Yes.
And, it's option 1 when you call, just saying free Gary Wayne Sutton. That way we still keep his name out there. That's the biggest thing. Hey, She's Country, how are you? And keeping his name out there. And we also want to make sure when we're talking about the case that we are only given the facts of it, because as we know with this other case that's going on, so much can be spread, and then narratives can be twisted and turned.
Right.
And so many of us are working so hard to get him home. And so we don't want to jeopardize anything that would,
Absolutely.
hurt
I agree with you
his
on that
case.
too. My chat was asking, what are we doing? What are we, and I was like, I don't know. I'm just listening to videos and reports, and you guys are hearing the same thing that I'm hearing, right? I don't know enough to speak on this topic. I'm just here to learn about it and for my people and support you guys in what you guys are doing over here or over there, right?
It's an amazing case to look at. Honestly, I've looked at several cases over the last 6 months, 8 months, and this one here is the one that has stuck to me. I have known Carolyn now for about 4 months. So I haven't even been into the case very long. Okay. I live in Tennessee. I'm very close to the prison myself. I'm very close to Carolyn and them. And it's just something about this case kind of drawed me into it.
Right.
And so I've kind of been there, I'm there wholeheartedly. Like, I'll do whatever needs to be done at this point. 3 weeks ago, we were able to go to the Capitol, and we had like a little mini protest and
I seen that video.
Okay.
Yeah.
The media type thing. That went really well. We were able to go inside of the Capitol, spoke to, yes, Bama Chick, that is correct. We spoke to different senators, House of Representatives. We do feel like we have several of them on our side. And so it's just a matter to keep his name out there, keep everything alive, and not let it die down, and I don't want the bigger cases to override something, if that makes sense. We all know who's missing right now, and God bless that woman, but sometimes I think that overshadows some of the things this is not a small issue. Like, this man, his days are numbered, and can you imagine looking at the calendar every day, knowing this day's going by and this day's going by? And so I thank you, though, for definitely bringing his name up. If you have any questions, you can obviously, reach out to me. You can reach out to Carolyn, which is the Gary Wayne Sutton, Justice for Gary Wayne Sutton case. She's country. She is an amazing contact. And she has an amazing live as well. Let me just say, if you're early morning bird, yes, absolutely. But she has also covered his case as well. I'm trying to think who else covers it. There's several of us that has kind of picked up. But like I said, on Mondays and Thursdays, typically Carolyn will do a phone call with Gary, and you can hear him for yourself. You can hear how humble he is, and when you're looking through all the documents and stuff, none of the evidence that they have in these documents even points towards Gary.
Right. And there was no motive either, right? Like, they never found a motive for, right.
No, there was not a motive. No. So all of the evidence, if you look at everything that they had, nothing directly links the unaliveds to Gary.
Right.
Also in transcripts, and this is another thing that kind of gets me, hey, Bama Chick, I have to agree, it's my favorite too. The one thing that gets me in the transcripts, the prosecutor goes up to the judge, and you can actually read this. This is not just hearsay. You can actually read this in the transcripts. Goes up to the judge. They were trying to basically get the two cases separated between him and his uncle. They wanted to try them separately instead of together, okay? The prosecutor basically says, if we separate the cases, I do not have enough evidence against Gary to convict him. So what does that tell you? The cases should have never been tried together to begin with. And, as a juror, when in doubt, you can't convict, The private investigator has also went and gotten affidavits from witnesses She's even talked to some of the jurors on the case. And basically, they retract their whole entire story. One of the witnesses testified that they... Go ahead, Sadie.
May I have a question really fast? Isn't it against the law for a juror to discuss a case outside of the case courtroom?
Not after it's closed.
Not after it's closed. Okay, I just after it's closed, it's okay to discuss. Okay,
Yeah, they
gotcha.
can't talk about it during the trial, but then once it's closed and stuff, that's how you see like O.J. Simpson jurors. You know, when they came out and started talking, the Casey Anthony people started talking, but it has to be closed unless the judge puts a gag on them.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now,
I knew all of this true crime and all of this, right? Like there's a lot of stories that you guys talk about that I personally can't handle. But this one I think is I'll be okay with, right? So I'm really interested in all of this. I really am.
It's definitely an amazing case to dig off into and really and to read. Like, he's innocent, you know, and we can sit here and say all day long with people that, oh, this person's innocent and this person's innocent, you know, and that's fine. Show me the proof that he's innocent. And that is something Carolyn has been able to do. You know, when you sit down and you kind of review everything, and I've spent several hours just reading documents, reading transcripts and stuff like that. You know, I'm trying to think what else might be something to highlight because I've only got like 5 more minutes left.
I do have somebody in my queue. I think they may want to ask a question. Is that okay that I bring them up?
Sure.
Or would you rather not?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I just wanted to hear you talk before hi honey, good morning.
Hey, how are you? What's the chances of us finding each other again on another line? I know. I was curious, how did you get involved in this case to begin with, and where are you getting your information?
So my information is coming from direct transcripts from court.
Okay. And how did you get involved in this to begin with?
I ran across Carolyn on TikTok and reached out to her. And because I live so close to the prison and also to her and I just kind of linked up. We've met up a couple of different times. I talk to her pretty much daily.
Have they reset his date? Because obviously I know they had set a date and then they postponed it because of the fact that the lethal injection was messed up. Have they reset it?
Yes, the date is set for December the 3rd.
Okay, so
it was for October of 2022, I believe. And that's when they had the controversy with how, you know, they euthanized them. And so it was prolonged. And that's something else to bring up too. At that time, the governor had told the family he would review this case once all of that got settled. Okay. And so once it got settled, the family reached back out to the governor. And then his response basically was, well, when he gets a date, we'll go back and look at everything. So everything, like, the governor keeps kicking the can down the road. And now that he's got a date, we're trying to call every day to make him look, you know, at this case. Because he told us when we get a date, we will look at it. Well, we have a date now, December the 3rd.
Have you asked Jamie if he's interested in covering it?
Yes. Jamie and I have been in quite a bit of contact about this case.
Yeah, I would think if anybody could potentially really push it, I bet you he could, just because he has a national presence.
Yes, yes. Jamie and I talk quite a bit about this case.
Okay. Well, I was just curious. Well, good seeing you. Glad to see you're on this case.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it goes far.
Yeah, I had a few people messaging me, asking me to come over, and I just happened to check my phone and seen it. So thank you guys for allowing me to come up. And like I said, She's Country is another big creator who covers this case as well. So I'm sure if there's questions I can't answer, she may have the answers too. But Carolyn will be live tonight with Gary on the phone. So if you want to hear him, definitely tune into her page. And it's 6 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Eastern.
Okay.
And I'll tell you a couple of things that we just found out. We actually had a Zoom call with Lauren Pinkston on Friday night. And she's running for governor.
Okay, she's running for governor.
Yep, she's running for governor. super nice lady, I will say. Very, very nice. She actually has put us into contact with several different other organizations that work closely with the governor, as well as she said she had a really good relationship with the governor. So we're hoping with that kind of relationship, it kind of gives us one step forward into either meeting with the governor or at least just having him to look at everything. You know, that's all we're asking, because when you look at the documents and you see everything, you have to, there's no way you cannot see that he's innocent, period. That's it.
What did the fire, because I was reading the bio for his page, did the fire happen the night of the pew-pewing?
Hold on a second here. Actually, ironic enough that we're even talking about this, I was actually going back through documents today, looking at stuff just to see if I have missed anything. So you want to know when it happened?
Yeah, well, because I was there's all these testimonies of the night of the fire that his niece was actually staying with him as well. Somebody named I believe
Peace Country is in my chat saying no, that it didn't.
Oh, it happened at different
Correct.
nights. Interesting.
Yeah, I have pictures pulled up of everything. And I'll tell you, just on my aspect of things, one thing that I have always found strange, and this is not anywhere in the documents, so please don't take this to be any kind of facts or anything like that. But the one thing I always found strange, in the car, the way they found this lady, now granted, she was burned. Okay, that's a fact. She was burned. But the way they find her leg is over in the passenger seat. They find like her femur and stuff in the passenger seat. And then her head was up against a window, like her skull or whatever. And I always found that to be a little strange in the documents or whatever. Because if she was just sitting there, you would think that she would be sitting at the steering wheel. But that's just me. Yes, it was an electrical fire is what they say. Okay. Yes.
Was there any DNA presented?
No DNA against Gary or his uncle.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, there's literally nothing. When I say there's nothing in these documents that link Gary to
even on the pew pew, they had to have found
even on.
Really?
Did they do gun residue testing on him or anything like that?
I don't know about all of that part of it. What I do know is they found no DNA of Gary's that linked him to this case.
Wow, that's crazy.
She's country. If you want to come up, girlfriend, you can definitely come up.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Please request a box. And he got.
It makes you wonder what they found him guilty of. I mean, obviously the crime, but how they presented it to make them feel like he did it.
Yes. Now I know Flip Flop is saying, she's questioning how he actually got the unalive penalty. They actually tried these cases backwards. Technically, the court should have tried Tommy's case first because he was the one that was unalived first. However, they tried Connie's first, and when they convicted him on Connie's, that went ahead and give him that felony record. So then when they tried him on Tommy's case, that is how he ended up getting an unalive penalty because he already was a felon, basically.
May I ask a question really fast? Do you know if this trial is on YouTube or posted anywhere to listen to the trial? Did they televise it anywhere or anything like that?
Because it was done in 1994. Right. So obviously, social media then is not like it is now.
Right. Okay.
I will be streaming the trial in May. I've already done the press release and everything for the Blount County Courthouse. And so I do have to have a conference call with the judge, which I thought was kind of weird. I'm sure he's going to have questions about what I'm streaming. And they said that they would kind of give me rules and regulations at that point on it.
Wonderful.
But yeah, there's nothing really. All you can go by is the transcripts and evidence files. Right. Hey, pretty lady, how are you?
Good morning. I'm glad to see you. talking about Gary.
I know.
So I wanted to throw in also the situation with Charles Harlan. So he was the medical examiner in the case, and he was a liar. He did horrible things. See, Tommy actually was unalived on Sunday night, early Monday morning, but Charles Harlan came in after 3 other medical examiners said, yeah, that's true. It was Sunday night. And then Charles Harlan came in and said, oh, no. We got to go with the state and say it happened on Friday night. That way we can convict Gary, because that was the only opportunity for Gary to have been able to do the crime.
Wow.
Harlan, your mind will be absolutely blown.
So she's country. What evidence did they provide that helped convict him? I mean, obviously something had to be presented from the medical examiner.
The medical examiner, the 3 before Charles Harlan, they said that Tommy was unalived on Sunday night, early Monday morning. They all agreed with that. And then you had Charles Harlan come in and decided from slides on an airplane that no, it happened on Friday night. So basically just his testimony, his false testimony.
I have somebody in my comments that's asking if you could explain the attorney that showed up for him that drove an hour away.
Okay, so way back in 1994, whenever he went to trial, his attorney that represented him then showed up recently to try to basically help him get this ID trial that's happening in May. Yeah, and this guy's like he's really old now. He knew that Gary shouldn't have been convicted.
So are they going to be able to use anything from the medical examiner? I'm assuming they've assigned a new medical examiner to the case.
So no, actually, everything just kind of falls under what went wrong in the court at this point. And even with that, so the trial in May is an intellectual disability trial. And it's not to say that he's slow or, anything like that, but it's basically to say what type of life he lived before prison, as a child, how he was raised, those types of things, because he was never granted this trial ever. And it should have been granted like way in the beginning. Like you literally have to have this trial before you can be put to death.
So if it is determined he has an intellectual disability, can it be overturned based on that, or like what's the point of that, I guess?
So what happens is if he is deemed if they go through it and he's granted the trial or granted the motion or whatever, he will get a life sentence. He will be taken off of the row and then given a life sentence. Well, it will fall under the law that was going on in 1992 when he was initially arrested. So that law says that a life sentence is a 25 years. So he would be released. And then which he can continue to work on getting clemency.
So life means 20 years? Is that something new? Or is that just specifically for that state?
No, it's for a lot of states, but it was the law in 1992.
Huh.
So say that you commit a crime today and they give you a life sentence, you're going to do 40, unless they say life without parole, you'll do about 40 years before you're eligible for parole. But back in the day, in the 80s and early 90s, you did 25 years and you were released. That was a life sentence. They didn't have life without parole.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. I did not know that. That's something I never knew. Okay. Well, so how do they determine? I mean, have you heard like the determination of the intellectual, like what do they look for? What does he have to prove? Has he been counseled on how to get that?
Yeah, he's got some really good attorneys right now, so I'm sure that they're telling him what to do and what to say. But basically, I don't think they're going to have to tell him what to do or say, because I think that it's a given with him.
Okay. I was going to say, it's evident then.
Well, and again, I don't want to say that Gary's slow, because he's not in any way, shape, or form. It's just having an education. He didn't get an education. Like, he didn't get things a normal child should get growing up. He was deprived a lot of things.
Yeah. How old was his daughter when he went in? Because Megan noticed she's an adult now.
She's saying 1, and I was gonna say 2, but it was probably 1.5, something like that.
That's so sad.
And the only reason why I know that part is because that's what she said on Mike Weatherford, that she was around 1 when he went in. So she was super young.
So he missed out on her whole life.
Yeah. And his too.
Oh yeah, sure, certainly.
He's lost family. Like I think it's his mother has passed on. No. Well, I think she's passed on too. She's country, but wasn't his father that passed away like in April recently? Yeah.
Yes. So someone said, is the Innocent Project working with him now? I believe they are. In the past, his attorneys in the past, of course, they weren't trying to help him. They were trying to keep him there. So his attorneys in the past wouldn't let the Innocent Project work with him. But now he's new attorneys, and they're welcoming all of the help that they can get.
Great. Well, thank you. And someone said Dora wrote a book on this.
Yeah, actually she did. Cheryl also wrote a book, and Tracy has a book on Charles Horn. But Tracy and Heather Cohen, Justice Warriors, they wrote a book maybe a year ago or so on Gary's case.
Interesting. Well, we'll be watching. Sounds like y'all got this figured out. Hopefully it's heard and he is provided clemency or the intellectual.
Well, I will say this. We might have it figured out, but the more people talking about it, the more people calling, the better. So
absolutely.
We have people on the side that likes to call people, so I will push this out. Absolutely.
All people need to be talking about this to get it out there for sure.
His days are numbered. The clock is ticking. So more eyes, more ears, more voices, the better.
Right. Absolutely.
Thank you.
And I put the number too in the chat. There is also, and I'll put this in the chat as well. There is also a petition that is going around for anybody to please sign it. That way, that's something else that we can put in front of the governor, that we have, X amount of signatures. But the phone calls are very important. You can also email the governor. I don't know, she's country, Ray, if I'm missing anything.
Now, is this a petition on your page or in a bio somewhere, or where else can we find it besides in my chat?
I will post it on my page.
Okay.
I had it posted, and then somebody said they couldn't find it, so I actually took it down. I'll repost it up there as soon as I get off here. That way you guys can find it.
Okay.
All right, guys, I got to go handle it with the kiddos. I'm glad I could give you guys some answers.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
thank you, ladies,
Ray.
for coming over and speaking with us and informing us on all this information. This is wild. This is wild.
All righty. Well, if there's anything that we can do for you guys, definitely let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. I went ahead and followed you back, and she's country. I followed you too, and I followed the young lady that is going to be going live and having this phone call. I will be at work later tonight, but I will definitely be listening in, and I will let my people know, if they want to do that as well, where to find those pages at and all that good fun stuff.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. I look forward to seeing you guys.
All right, absolutely, honey. You enjoy the rest of your work day.
All right, thanks.
Okay, bye. All right, Adam, are you ready for that phone call? Yeah. right? Actually, I think I'm going to end this live so that I could save this live so that I could upload it right to my YouTube as I do with a lot of my lives that has a lot of good information on it so that we could go back and listen and take note. Right. So I'm going to end this and I'll be right back. Okay. Go to my main page, turn my bell on if you want to continue finishing this conversation with us.